Dave and I have the dogs and we're heading out on a little adventure. We are going to the Chittenden or Ballard Locks today. It's a really interesting place to visit. We recently had a windstorm and a lot of the places I want to go have trees down, and I don't want to get in the way of repairs and cleanup that's still being done. A lot of people still without power in our area, so we were trying to find a place that would be not in the way, not blocked by fallen trees, and some place of historical interest. There are a couple features of the Chittenden Locks that this is not probably the best time of year to go. We're here in late November. One of those is the botanical garden, of course, much prettier in the spring and summer, and the fish ladder, and I think this isn't the right time of year for most of the fish runs either, but we'll see what we see when we get there. We are at the Hiram M. Chittenden Locks, also called the Ballard Locks. You can walk your dogs, you can bicycle. Oh, you can't. No bicycle riding. I take that back. And there's a tiny library. Look at those little guys. Pretty neat. There is a visitor center here, and they have a pumpkin here on display, a really big pumpkin. Here, you guys go in front so I can show how big it is. That's pretty cool. We'll go into the visitor center on the way back, I think. The Chittenden Locks were constructed between 1911 and 1917 when they officially opened. Pitcher plants.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-oh. There's a fly right now heading to its doom. Keep going, fly. He's thinking it over. The idea of having a canal or a lock system was first suggested in 1854 by Thomas Mercer. There was a lot of disagreement about where the canal should go, and it was difficult to get funding. A canal was actually started in 2 other locations, the biggest motivation being the shipment of coal and lumber. So that way is the sea, and this way are the lakes. These locks, there's a large and a small, maintain the 20 to 22 foot elevation difference between Lake Washington, Lake Union, and the sea. These locks also keep the seawater from mixing with the fresh water. We're going to get over here and cross this lock, and we're going to take a look at the water level on each side. It was hard to show both sides at once, but you can see that here the level is much higher than on the seaward side. Here's the smaller of the 2 locks, and you can see there's a boat in there. The locks were built and have been maintained ever since by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. A lot of the driving force behind the locks as we see them today was Hiram M. Chittenden, who was a new district engineer in 1906. He was a proponent of making them of concrete, a dual lock system, and pushed hard for their funding and approval. The locks are super busy today. Lots of people out checking them out. It's a really gorgeous day for November in the Pacific Northwest. We don't have the rain, we don't have the wind. How cool is this?
Right.
They are a customer of
Cool. Looks like this boat is called the Fallback, and it's coming from the lakeside to the seaside. So right now it's at this higher level. We're going to pull it in and then drop the level of the water and then let her out the other side. So we'll check this out. While the official opening of the locks was in 1917, the boats started coming through in 1916. About 50,000 boats come through here each year. I was distracted by a worker giving the dogs treats, as you can see on the other side there. So Dave got this footage. If you look closely, you can see the boat is going down in elevation as the water level drops. You can see that part of the wall there is sliding down those beams. So now you can see how much further the boat is dropping. There's Dave out there filming it from the better angle here. I got distracted by the guy working here gave the dog some treats, which was really sweet. Frodo was unimpressed with the locks, but gave the treats 2 paws up. Luna wasn't interested in either one. All right. Now the boat is down to the level of the sea, otherwise known as sea level. And they're gonna let him out. The locks can handle boats as long as 760 feet and all the way down to the small size of a kayak. You are not allowed to come through here in paddleboards, but kayaks and canoes can come through. Another fun fact is that in order to have enough water flow to operate the locks, the Cedar River was rerouted to flow into Lake Washington. The whole process for the boat to get through takes only about 10 to 15 minutes, and it's really fun to watch. So that's the smaller of the 2 locks again. And then if we come over here, you can see the difference in size of this one. This one is just pretty big. Ships go through this one. So now we have another boat coming through. It's coming from the seaside, heading towards the lakes. So we're going to get to watch the water level rise for this boat. All right. Now they're going to lift this boat about 20 feet, and you can already see the wall coming up. Now they're going to open the other side, and out he goes. So that was a boat going up and a boat coming down. Now we are going to go over here and check out the fish ladder. I'm not expecting to see any fish right now, but maybe we'll be pleasantly surprised. This one's really flowing. This art is called Salmon Waves by Paul Sorey, installed in 2001. Okay, let's descend into the fish ladder. Check this out. The fish ladder room is heated, which is pretty nice. And this is where you would see all the fish if they were swimming through. 0 fish.
The salmon that you see here at the fish ladder are a perfect example of that adaptation.
It's outside of the fish ladder. Oh, there's a big boat over there now. And here comes another. It looks like just a steady flow of traffic. Now we're up under the blue heron rookery, but of course it's not that time of year, so the nests are all empty. They'll be back in the spring. Ever wonder what it looks like under a rookery? The leaves have a lot of white on them, even off season. I wondered what this seagull had in its mouth, so I zoomed in, and it was trying to eat an entire starfish. I blinked and missed the actual swallow, but he got it down. Walking back across the dam here. Frodo and Luna, what did you think? They're ignoring me. All sorts of travel around here. That's a really pretty view there.
Did you guys clear the bridge?
Got a redwood in here. This is huge. Now we're walking through the Arboretum area. It's a little quieter. Not as many people up in here. Some palm trees. Built in 1913, the Kavanaugh House was formerly known as the Lockkeeper's House, and it housed the district engineer. Here's the Puget Sound. Here are the locks, and they flow through to Lake Union right here, and then that is connected to much larger Lake Washington. This is a good place to stop actually first instead of last, especially if you're interested in the fish counts and the tides. Little castle on the gate here to this Arboretum area. So we've come past the visitor center, and this is kind of like the first right as you come into the Chittenden Locks area. Hydrangea flowers. Old but pretty. Here's one that still has a little blue left. So this is like the nursery. Carl S. English Jr., that the botanical garden portion is named after, was hired in 1931 as an assistant gardener. Creating a rich and diverse botanical garden became his life's work. Cute. Happy little plants in there. Well, that was really fun and educational. We walked a total of 2.2 miles. Granted, we could not find a parking spot in the parking lot there, so we did have, a third of a mile walk each way. But that was just a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's a great spot to go to. See the boats go up and down in between Lake Washington and the Sound and see how that works. That was really cool.
That was fun. Yep.